Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious a Nerd podcast. Joining me today are my co-host, Jeremy and Andy. And we are bringing you another edition of Week in Geek live on YouTube. And this is our second episode of our doubleheader today. Andy and Dave were here this morning reviewing the Marvel Zombies show. So if you have watched that, please go check it out. And then we have our Stranger Things recap of seasons 1 through 4, getting ready for volume 5, which does drop this Wednesday, the 26th, the first 4 episodes. We will be covering that as a whole once we get through that big, long, 5-hour plus first edition there. And don't forget to check us out on social media at Why So Sidious Pod, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube. You know, we're more active on Instagram these days and always active on TikTok. So please go check us out. Let's get into the news. So we did have a Knives Out Wake Up Dead Man trailer for the third installment in this series. Andy, are you a Knives Out fan? Ryan, are you a Ryan Johnson fan?
I don't mind Rian Johnson, to be fair, but I'm not the biggest Knives Out fan, to be honest. This genre isn't something that sits at the top of my list of things that get me excited. But the first films weren't the worst I've seen. It just doesn't get me super excited, if I'm honest. It's a great cast though. For all the films. I mean, even this one, just looking at there, you can see the names on that list are pretty damn good, to be fair. So it's good to see an ensemble cast. I'll still definitely watch it.
Yeah, same. Well, actually, I really did like the first Knives Out. So the second one didn't quite capture that same magic, in my opinion. The way he deduced all of his detective work, I thought was way better written in the first one. And the second one was kind of a rinse and repeat in a way. Love the first one, but yeah, Glass Onion didn't really work. So not super excited about this one. The trailer, didn't really do much. I kind of expect another Glass Onion in a different time set. But man, that first one was really, really cool. All the writing on how he deduced every bit of his detective work was incredible. Like, as far as murder mysteries go, really fun. And all the little interviews, the way his detective was written is how I want them to write our Batman sometimes, because even Robert Pattinson's, they said that was a more detective oriented Batman, but not nearly as good of detective writing as what I saw from Knives Out. Mm-hmm. But you never know. There's a good chance this could be better than 2, and this could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going for more of like a horror approach. It says Benoit Blanc is called to a small New York town to investigate the impossible murder of a charismatic priest, Monsieur Jefferson Wicks. Excuse me, not Jennifer. And that is Josh Brolin's character. And the prime suspect is the younger priest, Jude Duplessis, who was assigned to work with him. The mystery involves the Monsieur's devoted but secretive congregation and a local police chief who enlists Blanc's help to solve a crime that defies logic. So we'll see how Benoit can pull it off again. But yeah, it is a good trilogy. And I guess they're working on a 4th movie. So they're going to keep it going. His new, I guess Daniel Craig can't get out of these universes where he has to do 4 or 5 movies at a time.
And it's coming out in theaters. Didn't the other ones not come out in theaters, or they came out very briefly and made a ton of money? Like there's a theater story going on.
The first one was just on Netflix. I think
the second one came out
limited.
Yeah. We good. Hopefully this stays in theaters longer, because for how limited of a time it was in theaters, I think it made a ton of money. Not Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm. And this movie kind of snuck up on me with it already being out next month?
Wait, it's a couple of weeks, isn't it? I'm surprised Netflix are doing 3 or 4 of them, though, because they're notorious for shutting everything off early, aren't they? So I'm surprised they've let it go on so long.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, should we move on to the Odyssey? So the confirmed characters in the Christopher Nolan's Odyssey so far, we do have Matt Damon as Odysseus, Tom Holland as his son, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, his wife, and Zendaya is playing Athena, of course, daughter of Zeus, god of war, right? Athena, or no, god of
wisdom or something.
Yeah, wisdom. Sure. Yeah. Robert Pattinson is one of the villains. Charlize Theron is another villain. She's like an enchantress, Circe. And then we have couple other people, Mia Goth playing a servant, but there were some first looks where we have this battle scene in the bottom right over here with Matt Damon fighting in front of the. I'm sure there weren't special effects. I'm sure they were setting off real explosions and fires in the background. So more things keep coming out about this movie, and now they're saying that during Avatar: Fire and Ash, they will release the prologue instead of a trailer. So, are we excited for this?
Very excited. I have a feeling this is going to be like way up there with Interstellar because we haven't really gotten Christopher Nolan in this environment. Like we've had him in space, we've had a lot of different Christopher Nolan, but like this mythical, old story like the Odyssey. That sounds like you can really get epic Christopher Nolan at his best with this. So how familiar are you guys with the details of the Odyssey story? Like I know the general premise of the Odyssey, but isn't there a lot of mythical beasts and stuff involved in this too, or is it grounded?
No, it says the prologue ends with Cyclops, so there will be monsters.
So yeah, you're really giving Christopher Nolan a chance to shine in a way we haven't seen it before. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I am super looking forward to this. I'm not overly familiar with the concept of it or the lore of it, but I know enough about it to be excited. And I saw a sneak peek of a scene. I think it was when I went to cinema maybe last month or something. There was rather than a trailer, there was just like a scene that they played from the Odyssey, which was John Bernthal, obviously aka the Punisher. His character was doing like a scene with Tom Holland where he was talking to a crowd and geeing them all up and stuff. That went on for like 2 or 3 minutes. So this is a stellar cast. So yeah, really excited for this to see what they can do with this.
And you mentioned Zeus is going to be in here and stuff too. So they're going full mythological, and that's pretty crazy. The Odyssey, is like supposed to be kind of considered maybe kind of a Bible for Greek mythology. Kind of gives you an overview of a lot of Greek mythology, and it comes after the Iliad, right? Like the main character Odysseus just is coming back from the War of Troy or something like that. I know one of those big wars in the Iliad, and his journey back home or his journey somewhere is the Odyssey.
Well, Tom Holland barely knows his dad because Tom Holland was sent to Troy, I think, as a young kid, or either his dad's been off fighting wars the whole time. But yeah, it's kind of Tom Holland's journey back to his dad is part of the story. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
When was the last time Tom Holland was in a film that didn't have Zendaya in it? Is he just not allowed to film anything without her present anymore?
Yeah, because
She
she doesn't allow it.
Yeah. She's allowed to go off and do films. It's not like he was in Dune or anything, was it? So it's
Has he been?
Not the other way around. He's not allowed.
Outside of Spider-Man, has he had a good film? Uncharted wasn't supposed to be great.
That one, what with Robert Pattinson, actually, the one about the church in the South was decent.
Okay.
But yeah, Uncharted, it was fun, but kind of dumb.
Yeah, it wasn't anything special, was it?
Moving on, House of the Dragon has already been renewed for season 4, releasing in 2028, which might not be the final season anymore, is what the Ryan Condrell was saying. So it was supposed to be, 4 seasons and then over, so they might extend it to 5, which I'm not super thrilled about because with how season 3 went, where the best episode was halfway through, and then the finale was kind of a letdown.
Season 2, right?
The season 2, sorry, not season 3 is about to come out next year. Season 2, yeah. The end of season 2 wasn't as good as season 1, and it felt like they were dragging it out.
100%. It didn't really give us any payoff. It just it promised a very emotional battle at the end of season 1, and then we didn't really get all that much. It wasn't very personal between those two. What are their names again? Rhaenyra and Alicent. Not a lot of payoff there. So I kind of think that season 3 is, again, the banger, what we kind of expected from season 2. And then I think the studio is just really in love with it. So they're like, let's keep going with this. But yeah, season 2 was disappointing, man. So I really hope season 4 picks it up a bit for us. And it sounds like they might have, if they're already renewing for more. But how long can you go? How long can you keep telling this story of the Targaryens? Eventually you're just going to run into the Baratheons.
Not for too much longer.
A couple hundred years, huh?
Andy, you a fan of House of the Dragon? Oh yeah, HBO. That's right.
Well, not just that. I mean, I haven't watched any of it, so
that's right.
I struggled to get through the end of Game of Thrones. So
that's fair. Well, George R. R. Martin says that there will be new seasons of Game of Thrones spin-off shows every year through 2028. So something's coming out in 2027. Don't know yet because we do have House of the Dragon and Dunk and Egg, Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year. He says there are many other Game of Thrones spin-off projects in development. Most are prequels. There are several in development, 5 or 6 series. I'm not developing them alone. I'm working with other people. Yes, there are some sequels. So things that take place after season 8. So we'll
I mean, is this, you guys are the fans of this show? Is this needed? Do we need this many spin-off shows or prequels to it?
If they're good, I mean, if it's a story worth telling, then yeah.
I think that they've built a big enough universe to make a franchise out of this, not just Game of Thrones. Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to keep building a franchise in Westeros, because even just Game of Thrones alone was so vast, covering so many different character stories across, so far away from each other, and such a long history that everything is based off of. So I think this should be a major franchise. Like 10, 20 years down the line, there should be a ton of Game of Thrones Westeros material. So I'm good with it.
All right, let's move on to Marvel. Ryan Coogler has confirmed that Black Panther 3 is his next film via Deadline. So, do you think this is post Secret Wars? I mean, it has to be by now, right?
Yeah.
And do we care by then? Do we care about Black Panther 3 after Secret Wars? Or is it too late?
Totally do. There's a chance they bring in a new Black Panther. There's actually a lot to this. Black Panther was introduced in a Fantastic Four comic. And what if there was a Black Panther in the Fantastic Four universe that we have yet to meet? And what's cool about that is I think his first appearance in the Black Panther and in the Fantastic Four comics was in the 60s, and the Fantastic Four movie took place in the 60s.
Okay.
And, they had a Latveria there. They could have had a Black Panther. So if I'm reaching far for a theory, I kind of think we're going to meet a new Black Panther in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and he's from the Fantastic Four universe. And and in general, I do very much want a Black Panther 3, and I think I think this will be easier for them than the second one was without the loss of Chadwick Boseman, and they would be able to, stick to a plan and write their plan. And we got to know what's going on with Wakanda in the MCU, right? Such a major part of the MCU. So I think it's one of the most needed sequels or continuations of any character's movie.
Yeah, I definitely think we need one, because they've set up storylines that need sorting out as well. So like at the end of Wakanda Forever, when they set up Namor, just saying that he was going to use or play along with the Wakandans for now, and then he would come down on them at some point. So you got to feel that that might happen post Secret Wars. I think they set up the storyline as well with T'Challa's son. T'Challa. That I think they're setting him up that post Secret Wars that he would take over as the new Black Panther.
Maybe he's 12, maybe he's 10 years old, 12 years old by then.
Well, I think he's probably, there might be a bit older than that. I think maybe post Secret Wars, if they wait another year or two after Secret Wars to do this. So they seem to set it up with M'Baku to maybe be taking over the throne, because obviously it looked like he was going to do that. Shuri was just going to be Black Panther, but then maybe she gives that up to the young T'Challa instead, or maybe he turns up as a 14-year-old something in Secret Wars as
Right.
Black Panther. So I think they've got a lot to do, and they're valuable characters, and JD said Wakanda's too valuable to give up on it and not have it around. So
and a major character in the whole Incursion saga leading up to Secret Wars, and a major character in Secret Wars. I think maybe the most major character in Secret Wars by the end of that comic anyway.
great.
And they do need to have post Secret Wars start off with a bang to not kind of repeat post Endgame. Post Endgame was a little bit of a drought before we got a good movie. They need, if Black Panther 3 came right out after Secret Wars, that's a good spot to, unless it's going to be like X-Men or something, but
yeah,
definitely have to keep fans interested post Secret Wars.
Well, because without Iron Man and Captain America, Black Panther, losing Chadwick Boseman was such a gnarly hit for us, because he would be absolutely by far my favorite character to follow in the MCU after after Captain America and Iron Man left. Black Panther was the guy. Him, Doctor Strange, sure, but it's going to be nice after Secret Wars. You know, we know it's supposed to be like not necessarily a reboot, but like a light remixing of things. There will be significant changes, but it won't be a full reboot. So that, you know, Thor, Christopher Hemsworth's probably not going to continue as Thor. It's just been way too long at this point. Who knows? He might, but Black Panther can be one of your really central figures along with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four after Secret Wars.
Oh, yeah. Keeping it with Marvel, Tobey Maguire is rumored to appear in Avengers Doomsday. This is via Daniel RPK, so he's, you know, hit or miss on his rumors, but I feel like this is kind of obvious, especially if Tom Holland's not going to be in it. We should get a Tobey Maguire, and also saying he might have a full CGI suit, which not a fan of, but
there's no way I'd buy Tom Holland's not going to be in there. Tom Holland will for sure be in Secret Wars. I think
Doomsday.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh, Doomsday. That one, yeah, maybe not. But we're talking only Secret Wars for this anyway, aren't we?
No, it says Doomsday.
Oh, Doomsday as well. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected, right? And it's like
you need a Spider-Man in it.
At this point, I really just want to tell people to stop saying that when a movie comes out for someone, it's their swan song. We're saying goodbye to them because we've seen it so many times. Logan, Deadpool, and Wolverine. Oh, we said goodbye to the Fox X-Men, and then whoops, Doomsday will be goodbye to the Fox X-Men now. And, you know, No Way Home was a great send-off for Andrew and Toby. Nah, they're going to come back. We'll give them another great send-off. It'll be a perfect send-off for them next time. I just want people to stop saying that characters have a swan song just because they came back to a movie like years later. Just let it go. That makes this news less exciting for me. I kind of already expect it anyway. So rumor or not, I think he's going to be in there, and I think we all kind of expect it.
I mean, it's not like it's a new rumor. This has been going around,
right?
That he was going to be either in Kang Dynasty or when it changed into Doomsday since he was in No Way Home. So it's not like it's a new rumor. The only real new thing about it is that he was spotted on set in a mocap suit, and some people are saying it's because his physical suit wasn't ready yet, or some people are saying it's because he's not going to be the same Tobey Maguire from the Sony Spider-Man universe. He's going to be from a different universe altogether, and he's going to be in like the Black Venom suit. This is why it's mocap, to keep it a secret. So the rumors start to fly when this sort of thing happens, unfortunately, and it's, you know, we're never just going to have to wait and see, aren't we? But yeah, it's not like it's a new rumor. I expect him to be in Doomsday. I expect him to be in Secret Wars, to be honest. So it's a wonder how this makes news when it's like the most obvious thing ever.
I would have preferred Andrew Garfield personally,
and I kind of expect him too, though. You know,
you do. He's going around. He's saying. I think he said the same kind of things last time, where he just like, "Oh, I have no idea what's going on. No one's talked to me." So.
Fake news, he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I expect if Tom Holland's not in Doomsday, which because they keep saying that Brand New Day is going to be running just before, if not concurrent with Doomsday, so that's why Tom Holland won't be in it. But if that's the case, then I expect these two Spider-Men to be in it for sure. So.
Oh, yeah. And John Bernthal will not return as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Lies.
This is interesting. Lies, right? Do we think the Punisher special that's coming out could interact with the Daredevil Season 2 storyline? Maybe there's a reason why he's not in it, or are they lying?
I mean, the special is rumoured to be obviously what happens between Season 1 and 2 of Born Again when he's escaped Fisk's little mini prison, isn't it? Right. So that could account, obviously, for what it. But there were reports months ago that he'd already been filming scenes for Season 2 of Born Again. He'd been seen on set doing stuff. So how they then... This was why I was surprised when I saw this week. I'm like, from what we've been told, he's already done scenes. He's already going to be in it. That he was already confirmed to be in it. So the fact that no one else they've not come out and denied it or said he is in it, either way, it just shows to me he's probably going to be in it somehow. I don't see him not at least having a cameo in Season 2, if not playing... Because some people even said he was going to play a bigger role in Season 2 than he did in Season 1, because he was going to be helping out the new Defenders. So I just don't see how he isn't in Season 2. And if he isn't, I don't care if... Obviously, you guys know how much I love the Punisher. That's why I get riled up about it. Like, we've got his special coming, that's all well and good. But if he's not in Season 2, I would be extremely pissed off.
Yeah, it seems like he was really close to the conflict in Daredevil. Like, the conflict that is building to Season 2. It seemed like he was right in the middle of all that. So it is kind of strange. I could totally see his special being... if he's going to escape that prison and then he will be led on his way, and that'll make perfect sense why he's not in the Daredevil show. So maybe that happens. Plus, he's going to be in Spider-Man 2 with a major role, so they have plenty of Punisher coming out. It just really seems like he would be involved with what's going on in Daredevil's life because he was right there in the middle of it for season 1. So kind of sucks, but it could be fine.
And this was
It's
an
not fine.
interview.
Don't say that. It's not fine.
This was an interview with the showrunner, right? This is
really?
It's via Empire Magazine, so it has to be like a sit-down piece they did about Daredevil season 2, which is kind of interesting. It's coming from someone who's involved with the show.
Do you think Marvel ever actually shoots scenes for a different movie and then later decides to put the scenes in a different movie from that scene? So like, even if it doesn't apply to this, I'm kind of curious what you guys think of that. But like in this case, Punisher had a single scene in Daredevil spotted on set. And for whatever reason, that scene fits perfectly into the Spider-Man movie, whatever they're going through, or the Daredevil special, whatever they're going through. And they're like, all right, let's just put it in there. And then all of a sudden, Punisher's one scene is not in Daredevil anymore. Do you think they ever do that?
Probably.
I mean, they do it for end credit scenes, so.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe used some footage from season 1 for season 2, and got in there. So therefore, he's not filmed anything for season 2. They took something from season 1 and added it in, maybe. So they have done that before, haven't they? So
yeah,
right. Sadie Sink has been cast in Avengers Doomsday. So I saw Secret Wars at first because that's what I copy and pasted from X, and now it says Doomsday. So maybe Doomsday makes more sense. But leading off of that, they've been trying to keep her character a big secret. We've seen a couple set photos come out, but she must play some sort of important character if she's going to be, in the Avengers movie as well. So what are we thinking here?
I guess, the Jean Grey rumors are very interesting because it's something I really don't see for a Spider-Man movie. Then again, you don't put it past Marvel, and that would be pretty epic if they found a cool way to write a mutant like that into a Spider-Man movie. But I kind of have a feeling it's more of a love interest, which, you could just pop up in your Avengers movies like Pepper Potts does.
But wouldn't that mean that Tom Holland has to be in it? Which there's
right. And if he isn't, then that means her character would be much bigger than that.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. So this casting is one of the most kind of confusing castings ever. I have no idea what she is, and
I think X-Men. A member of the X-Men makes kind of sense because they want to go young with the cast. She's that perfect age for it, and introduce one of them before Avengers.
Yeah, and her as Jean Grey makes perfect sense on all those points. But putting her in a Spider-Man movie is where it feels weird.
Right.
But it would also be really cool if they found a good way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many rumors about who she's going to play because obviously the news this week was potentially Jean Grey or a Jean Grey clone that's working for Doctor Doom. And she's been sent to this Earth to obviously feel out what the situation is. Obviously, the rumors that she was going to play Rachel Alves, which was like Punisher's sidekick, because she was seen in more like Punisher type gear, tactical gear, which she looks similar to the character as well. So it's the problem is now rumors fly so heavily about everything. So like the Jean Grey clone didn't really make much sense to me. But if you're setting up things for Doomsday, like you've only got one film left to set things up for Doomsday, which as I think we talked about before, they've done almost no setup really apart from Fantastic Four, and that was just the post-credit scene. Is the setup. So having her as an agent of Doom is like an X-Men clone, so to speak, or something like that, or a corrupted Jean Grey from another universe, you could maybe see it in there. But it's also maybe confusing to throw that character into a Spider-Man film where you've already got Spider-Man, you've already got Hulk, you've already got Punisher. So do you then throw in something that's going to confuse the plot altogether by trying to set things up? Are you ushering in too much to try and set up for Doomsday then automatically? So. Especially if that's supposed to be running concurrently with or right before Doomsday, and then she's in Doomsday as well, like you said. So it kind of, I would probably bet more money that she would play Rachel Alves than Jean Grey.
Right. We're looking too much into it. But just her being cast in Avengers does kind of lead the mind to bigger things.
Yeah, that's what made me want to talk about it more, too, because it didn't mean much about her just being in Spider-Man. Like, she could be anybody, but now she's in the Avenger movie. She's like, oh, wow. So now you got to really think about who the hell could she be?
That's why I think it probably leans more to the X-Men side of things, doesn't it? If she's going to be in Brand New Day and Doomsday, because I don't think Rachel Cuevas would have a big role to play in Doomsday at all, unless she just plays a few scenes with some street level people running around, just to
Right.
like start linking things together and set her up for the new era as well. But yeah, an X-Men or an X-Men clone or something would probably make, I guess, more sense for the wider story.
Right. It sounds like a waste of money to have her in Avengers. I'm sure she's not cheap unless she needs to play someone more consequential. All right. Well, we should do like we'll definitely do like a predictions episode where we like maybe take bets on who's going to show up, who's going to die. Definitely, we've been talking about Doomsday for so long. We will continue to talk about it for the next year until it comes out.
Oh God, this is still a year.
All right, so moving on to DC. So we talked about this before, where Lanterns was supposed to come out before Supergirl. It has been delayed to after Supergirl, so it looks like just maybe 2 months if Supergirl's June, correct? Yeah, right. Supergirl's June, and then so this I'm guessing August is when this comes out. So a good little break in between. Still got a couple DC projects next year, but I'm still pretty disappointed. I feel like that first like 4-month window of the year was really wide open when it came to superhero stuff, because the back end is pretty stacked with Marvel and Supergirl. So, but how do we feel, Andy? Are you still excited, or are you a little worried that it was delayed at all?
I mean, there's never. I hate they never tell us a reason why they delay it. Give us a reason.
Yeah.
Don't just say, "Oh, we decided to delay it." Like why? Like you said, apart from Daredevil Born Again season 2, there was nothing really in the first part of the year that for it to even worry about. So, if they then tried to tie in something with Supergirl, like a post-credit scene, I know they like James going to say he probably won't do post-credit scenes, but is they going to? They've decided to make a tie-in to start putting it all together a bit more. That then this is the reason why you want to have it afterwards. So I would have preferred to have it early because I'm actually kind of excited for this show. So yeah, a bit of a disappointment that it's going to be delayed and further, because everything seems to get delayed now as well. That's starting to annoy me. Every single thing is starting to get delayed, like for the last year or so. They're like, we're going to do it this then, and then everything got delayed. So just give me the fucking shows already. Jesus, is it that hard?
Yeah, the why behind it is really what I want to know too. Is this a marketing thing, like throw an end credit scene after Supergirl so more people will go see Lanterns? Or is it a story thing, like they want to establish something in Supergirl before we get to Lanterns? Or is it production problems? Are they having issues? Just tell us why. We did cover this before, but it was a rumor, I guess, and now it's official. We actually have a kind of a date window. But it is a bummer. Probably one of the top 3 most exciting DCU projects looking into the future. Also, the fact that we're just going to have another super person movie before something else. We're not branching out into the DCU. We're sticking to what we've already been introduced to. And I don't think that'll benefit them a ton. I think the movie Man of Tomorrow will be good. Supergirl will be good. But you need to branch out and get a little more diverse with your content. Go do the Lantern stuff instead of the super people stuff to give people a different taste of what the DCU is going to offer.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's do a little Star Wars. So, you can take that picture down. I did add a couple things today and I forgot. Sorry. Thank you, producer JD. Jon Favreau says he has the Mandalorian season 4 scripts on my desk. We're planning on doing a 4th season. I actually had written all of that. So this obviously post Mando and Grogu movie. There will be another season, which is kind of interesting.
That I don't think you've read the full quote there, to be honest, mate. He said that you had it on there, and Disney decided that they wanted to shut it down because they wanted to get back to more films rather than TV series. And so he had season 4 written and on his desk, but Disney shut that down and they went with the film instead rather than the doing a season 4.
Oh, my bad. Okay, that makes more sense, because I was wondering why they would still do a season 4 after the movie. So he was planning on doing a season at first, but now they're going to do a movie instead. Got it.
Yeah, that's what Disney decided to go. They wanted to get away from the TV series. It's like doing TV series more like every now and again as opposed to like a yearly thing, and they want to go back to doing films.
What,
as a
what
more
would you
regular thing.
What would you have preferred? Season
I'd have
4?
preferred this. Yeah, I'd have wanted a season 4 over a film because this is just going to be like one giant episode, and I'm a little bit worried about it because I think me and JD had talked about it before where we want it to progress towards the build up to the end of the Thrawn storyline of the Mandoverse, and I'm not sure this film's going to get us there, which means there's a lot on season 2 of Ahsoka to do that. And so I would have preferred a season 4 where they could have laid a bit more groundwork as well to get it through to that end game.
Mm-hmm.
I think to be fair, they don't need more establishment. Like you could do the Thrawn movie next year, and after Ahsoka season 1, he could kind of attack from wherever he is right now, and it would kind of make sense. You already have connection with a lot of the characters, Ahsoka, Mandalorian. I am really happy to hear that they shut that down because I'm really sick of small screen Star Wars. It's like the franchise that just really belongs on the big screen, and
That's fair.
I'm kind of happy that it's shoved into a movie because I'm getting kind of bored of the Mandalorian series. They do have a lot of like missions, like repeat missions, kind of filler.
Monster of the week.
Yeah, and I think if you
Those are
grab
fun,
everything perfect about the Mandalorian story and shove it into a 2-hour movie and get the production value up, I think I would enjoy that as my dinner more than the series. So I'm happy with it. And yeah, but I think Andy's right about that. Kind of tells me this is not going to build up to the Thrawn movie like we wanted to as much because they have a very specific story enough to where they're dropping a movie. So they're not just going to drop a movie to develop Thrawn, even though we could expect some of that, but yeah, I'm good with it.
I think I might like you a bit less now, JD, because you just said you wanted a bit less Star Wars in your life.
Yeah, all we've had is series. Last
I think we're movie starved. That's what it is.
Yeah. Dude.
I just want any Star Wars. I don't care.
The big screen is one of the most great ways to start a movie.
And it's also, who would have predicted that Mandalorian and Grogu would be our first movie after Rise of Skywalker? I feel like they would have done like something else, but no, we're just gonna take our most, our best TV show and turn it into a movie because we're scared and we need to win real bad.
Yeah, and the concerns are right about it just feeling like, just a big episode. I am really concerned about that. What can you really do? You have to raise the stakes. You have to make it very emotional. But what is it? Someone's going to be after Grogu and you're going to have to stop him. Or someone's going to go try to kill a bunch of people and you got to stop him. Or someone's going to try to take over the galaxy and you got to stop him. Like, what are they going to do to make this worth of a movie?
What about the biggest bounty he's ever gotten before?
Yeah. $5 billion.
Thrawn's got to be in it, right, guys? We need Thrawn.
Yes, at least an appearance.
Yeah, he just needs he didn't need anything to be major in it. Like I think just a couple of scenes here, there.
Or Thrawn's underlings.
I said that they need the Dark Council in it from season 3 of Mandalorian. They need to bring that back in and just show, because I think this is going to show. Apparently, there's going to be quite a fair bit of Zeb in this film. So, like the New Republic, I think they're going to show a lot of the frailties of the New Republic here, dealing with the remnants of what's left of the Imperial forces. And the Dark Council showing that underhand would be a perfect way to do it. And they obviously, New Republic use Mando and Zeb to go and sort all that out for them, or get a handle on it anyway, in the Outer Rim. So I think that's going to be the main story, I reckon.
I wish they would play Thrawn as the big bad of this still, though. Like, whatever's going on that they need to fix goes up to Thrawn. Or,
oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It'd be cool if he cloned like a Jedi and had like a dark Jedi that became the villain of this Mando Grogu story. And whatever he's doing, they have to stop him from accomplishing whatever tasks Thrawn wants him to. But I feel like there's something in the lore about Thrawn making a Force-sensitive clone or something.
Of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There you go. I can kind of see that happening. We have this villain, dark Force user, and then we find out Thrawn made him by the end of it.
But then you need Ahsoka to come in to battle that guy, and then it becomes an Ahsoka movie.
Or Grogu is getting into powers, and they could tactically avoid him and
I guess
and
save
death.
He doesn't die at the end, and you save him for that last Avengers style movie, but
yeah,
a little too powerful.
I mean, the guy can barely do anything still. I mean, that always gets me about Grogu. He's 50 years at the Jedi Temple. He's apparently had several masters, and he can still do fuck all. Like, what's he been doing? He's such a lazy little bastard.
He's
Like,
hungry.
it just because when Ahsoka meets him and they're like reading minds or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, he was raised at the temple for like 50 years. He's had many masters," and he's like, "Okay, so he's an insubordinate little shit who doesn't like following orders, and he'll just steal everyone's food from their plates." That's literally what he's been doing at the temple for 50 years, and that's why he's never progressed because he just doesn't have the bottle in him.
But if you live for 900 years like Yoda, then he's obviously still what, 5?
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
by 100, Yoda was teaching people. He was teaching Jedi.
That is also true.
So what's he doing? He needs to up his game. I know he's got
Is
50
that
years to
canon?
go.
Is that
What?
Yoda stuff canon, or is that
Yeah.
legend? It is, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he says that he was what 923 when he died, and he said for 900 years he's been teaching Jedi. Sorry, 800 years. So maybe
That's
he was
right.
like 160 when
20.
he started teaching.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. Grogu's got a little growing up to do, but we still love him for now.
Yeah.
All right, now our final piece of Star Wars news. JD, you're good to go. Andy, you talked about this, right?
I'm planning to. I
Oh.
haven't got around to it yet, but
Okay.
perfect opportunity.
Well, yeah, there we go. We got our first time to talk about it now. Then, Star Wars Rebels writer Henry Gilroy says they never planned for Sabine Wren to become a Jedi. Obviously, the whole writing team thought it was a bad idea when they previously discussed it. So this isn't the first time they've talked about it. It absolutely was not the plan. We really felt that it only did not step on Ezra's story. It was a weak retread. We already did this. The idea of Sabine training as a Jedi when she is already this fantastic warrior of her own type, a Mandalorian, we felt like this is overkill. It had nothing to do with the Ahsoka series, so I was shocked. What I love about the story with the Darksaber is that you don't have to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. I think that's really more important thing. Rather than force pushing Ezra 100 feet when you've never used the Force before. Like, oh man. That was my biggest issue with Ahsoka for sure.
Biggest? Oh yeah. I love him for saying this though, like because it's so on the nose, it's unreal. Like they've tried to force. Well, they tried to change how the Force works over the last, like,
pun intended.
Yeah, they tried to force it down our throats with the Force, and it's just not how it should be. And you can't they've always said, the Force is in everyone, just to varying degrees. And yes, with training you can learn how to do certain things, but you have to be at Jedi level to be able to do things. And Sabine is not Jedi level in any way, factor of anything. So the fact that they forced this down our throats and then forced it out in season 1 of Ahsoka was one of the most upsetting things I've ever experienced in Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff I don't care about in Star Wars that other people really doing it really annoyed about, but this was one of the ones that I couldn't really. It really spoiled season 1 for me because I thought apart from that, season 1 was actually really good. And I'm glad that he's come out and said this because it's perfect what he said, and the fact that they decided to change it to suit a narrative that doesn't work and change how the Force works is just
so pointless.
Yeah, it's just not needed. It's just not needed in any way. Except for me, like you said, just the first time she figures it out and she's force pushing Ezra that trained Jedi. It took ages to do this. Grogu's been doing it 50 years. He can't do it.
So, right, and he's a freaking Yoda or whatever they're called.
So yeah, I'm happy this has come out. I'm gonna be quiet and let JD give an opinion because it really riles me up.
That was a good rant. JD, go ahead.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're introducing new Jedi in the Skywalker era because there's already so much lore behind that. The Purge, the existence of Force-sensitive people, and I think there's good ways to add some Force-sensitive people that have survived Order 66. But you got to be more selective with it. Throwing Sabine in there just felt like just an extra Jedi, just muckied the water and kind of homogenizes the Jedi. They're not as mystical and cool if you got all these random people showing up with Force powers. You had enough Force people in this show, so you should have used a different dynamic. But you got to be more selective with that stuff. If the guy that Vader found who almost whipped his ass and he had to get his lightsaber, that's a really cool use of a Jedi that survived or someone Force sensitive. Sabine, not the case, right? That actually made the show a little less cool.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, she was already great as a Mandalorian,
exactly.
Darksaber. You don't need the Force. You're fine.
to set up her story in Rebels is a good story as well. And she was far less annoying in Rebels than she was in Ahsoka. And then to just change the narrative that, you know, anyone can be trained to use the Force and use it well. You've just got to overcome some little mental block, and it's just like, that's not how the Force. It's to quote Han Solo, that's not how the Force works. So it's just.
And I've only seen Rebels once all the way through, and I've gone back and watched a couple of my favorite episodes multiple times, but there's no like hints of
No.
her being Force sensitive, right? Zero.
Not even close. Never. They never even touch it.
Right.
Like, because she obviously trains with the Darksaber when she steals it off of Maul.
Right.
And obviously, Kanan trains her to let go of her anger, or to embrace it anyway, to get past it and become one with the Darksaber, because, you know, it's one of those weird sabers that you need to sort of connect with it in a way for it to feel lighter and not heavy, which is what they touched on in Mando as well, with Mando using it. And that's all well and good, because it's a connection that you can still feel, because, as they say, everyone has a bit of the Force inside them. But, you know, then just go past it to the way that they did with her. And JD even smacks it on the nose as well. Selective you've got to be with who you turn into Jedi in this era, for the simple reason that they seem to be adding more and more Jedi that survive Order 66. And the fact that they just keep adding people onto it now, and so more and more people survive, and as you say, JD, it makes it less of a mystical thing. It makes it less impressive when all of a sudden you keep having more and more people surviving.
It's like how in the MCU everyone's got freaking Iron Man armor now. You know, it's way less cool now because everyone's got it. The Wakandans have it. Riri, Tony Stark, Captain America has it. So,
yeah, passing it around. All right, 2 more quick things before we end this episode. So there is a little bit of video game news. I sent it in the chat with the new console, the Steam Machine, coming out. Andy, you heard about this?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I've never really been a PC gamer, but it's something I've kind of looked into. And Steam, that's like the platform you buy and download PC games on, right?
Yeah. Like Valve Corporation.
Right. So they're making their own console, kind of, where you just need to plug it in to the wall, plug it into your TV, probably connect to the internet, and then you can have all the games that are only exclusive on PC, plus, of course, the console games on your television. So there's not a price out yet, but they're saying probably like $800. It's not going to be the price of a console, closer to the price of a laptop or a PC. So, but to play like, you know, the Old Republic and, you know, kind of games like that would be kind of fun. Are anyone interested in this? Andy, you a PC guy?
It is going to be more like a PC than a console, because it's going to have operating system on there. It's going to come with their own operating system that they've developed, but they said that you can still take that off there and put your own your own operating system onto it. So it's not like you're restricted to using their one only. So it's going to be just as powerful as some of the best gaming PCs. So it's a bold step forward. Obviously, they're putting things out there with it, like their own like headset, which can be connected up to a PC, or it can run games completely on its own. So it's its own mini PC, along with their own like Steam controller, because their first Steam controller was terrible. And this one is supposed to be a massive upgrade. So they're really starting to make moves, because they tried it before and it didn't work. It was absolutely shocking. It was awful. No one liked it. The price point was well above what it needed to be, and it just didn't work. So the fact that they've taken their time, gone away, developed it, and they're coming back at a time when people will buy it. Especially people that maybe need to upgrade their PC but don't want to go to the full end of it. So this would be a price point that people could hit it at. I think they said $500 to $800 dollars. Sorry,
quid.
So
I like quid. I like when they say quid.
So yeah, I think it'd be exciting. It's not something I would probably get, because we've got pretty much everything in our household. We've got 2 PCs. We've got the Xbox, the PS5, we've got the Steam Deck, we've got the Switch, we've got everything pretty much. So I don't think we're going to need it, to be honest. Whether it means we get it or not is still out there, but it's definitely worth. I think this is going to take off.
Yeah, especially if it has like 4K, high definition streaming. So yeah, that's interesting. And then lastly, the box office update. I don't have the exact numbers here, but the final 2 movies of this year are about to come out. Dave's last movie and his first pick, Zootopia 2, comes out Thanksgiving weekend. Should be a big one. And then Wicked Part 2, my last movie, came out last weekend. It got 226 million globally opening weekend. So not bad, but I actually did go see it with my wife and it wasn't very good.
You need to see it about 1 million times, mate, to be honest, to make any difference. Unless this becomes the highest grossing film of all time at like 2.7 billion, I'm not sure it's going to see you over the line, is it?
I just want to have a respectable finish with like one good movie because Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts underperformed. But yeah. All right, well, stay tuned for our coverage of Stranger Things. That will be our next biggest episode coming out, probably 2 weeks from now. We'll say maybe we'll try and watch it Thanksgiving weekend. We can all finish it by Sunday, hopefully. If it comes out Wednesday. Well, Andy, what do you guys have at Thanksgiving over there? Is like a different day? Nothing at all?
We don't have Thanksgiving, mate. We're not
no,
American.
That's pilgrimage shit.
No, but no, like I don't know, no like day of the year. You know what I mean? Kind of
day
like
of
that.
the dead turkeys. Like,
yeah, it's Christmas Day.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because
we don't have a Thanksgiving. There's nothing for us at the end of November. It's just a normal day, mate.
Oh, so you guys lack gratitude?
Yeah.
Are you not thankful for your former owners?
Oh man.
There's nothing for us Thanksgiving wise. For us, it's just a straight shoot now from now till Christmas.
And I guess you guys don't have an Independence Day either because you've just ran shit since the beginning, huh?
I mean, there's lots of Independence Days from us, but yeah, we've never needed. I mean, people always say, like, I speak to some Americans every now and again over here, and they're like, "Do you guys not celebrate July 4th?" I'm like, July 4th is just a Tuesday to us.
Right.
Like, do you know how many countries around the world have an Independence Day from Britain? Like, there must be like 2 or 3 a week for the entire year, and we just don't care. So
you're telling me every country wasn't founded on July 4th?
Yeah. I think, if I remember off the top of my head, I think there was something like only 23 countries in the world have not been under British rule at some point in their history. So that just shows you how good we are, and you should be really asking for us to be back in control.
Master.
Not that I'm trying to start World War III or anything. It's fine.
We'd be on the same team. Don't worry. But a little island did own about 90% of the world one time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes. Imperialism, we are the best. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a little history in there at the end of this Week in Geek episode. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time on Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast.